Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about Marshall's new DSL distortion pedal. What you just heard was the pedal into clean channel of Marshall JCM2000 TSL 100. And as you can hear, it works quite nicely. But I will check it out with a couple of other amps too, and we will see that does it sound as good. So what we have here, it's a distortion pedal, and it's here on this, yes, my hand is viewable, this flanger thing. I have, it's in the lobe, and here is the kind of this LED ring, which is pretty nice. And there's your gain, deep switch. On the GSL, my old GSL from early 2000, it has a deep kind of knob, but I guess on the newer DSL models there is actually where you can turn it like this, and then tone, darker, brighter, output, so you can match the level with your clean sound. Because I guess that this is designed, if you have a clean amp, you have a nice clean sound, and the amp necessarily doesn't have that great distortion overdriven sound, you can use this pedal and the other Marshall pedals. I will check them out, but those are for another video. Now I'm starting with this DSL. So it's like into amplifiers, clean channel or clean amp. I guess you could use this also with a power amp, kind of like Seymour Duncan's Power Stage, or put it in the effect loop of your amp. But then it's a little bit like putting it in the effect loop, then you have this sound. If you take this off, clean guitar into effect loop, doesn't sound very good. So I'm gonna do this the way I would use this. So into a clean channel, clean amplifier, and then get my distortion with this one. Okay, so let's tweak the knobs a little bit. Basically no gain. Lots of gain. Kind of where it's, it starts to get around noon, and then the deep switch. It's almost like playing into bass amp. Kinda around there. Then the tone. And the volume is basically just, if you have a tube amp, you can also drive the channel with the volume so that the preamp tube starts to break. So you could kind of use this also as a boost, when you turn the gain down. Because this is my clean sound, it's completely clean. So you can, get like mildly overdriven sound, not necessarily even if you just do a super lead distortion, but obviously tweaking the knobs, you can get a lot out from this. Again, clean sound. slightly overdriven sounds. And then I think what this is really made for. Okay, so now we know how it sounds. Then let's compare it to how the actual TSL amp sounds. You know, the TSL is pretty much like DSL, but just with 3 channels. Yes, I know there's a little bit differences, but I played with the old DSLs, new DSLs, TSLs back in the day a lot, and honestly, there's not much difference. So, first, the pedal into the clean channel of the TSL, then I'm gonna switch into the TSL's lead channel. As you hear, hopefully the sound is a bit smoother, not as grrr, and the playing feel is totally different, because now the overdrive is generated by tubes, not whatever is inside here, but not tubes. So obviously, you know, you can't really compare, or yes you can, but at least real tube overdrive is always real tube overdrive. But I understand not everybody has the possibility to buy a, you know, tube amplifier. You can get pretty close to this. Let me go back, so I play the same Pull Me Under with the actual TSL's overdriven channel, and then I'll switch back to the clean channel and engage the DSL pedal. I mean, the character is definitely there, but the distortion, like the overall character, but the distortion character, it's the difference between a, let's call this solid state distortion versus tube distortion. So, alright, those are the differences, and now let's put this to a clean channel of 5150, because with Marshall it works pretty well. But if you already have a Marshall, like the TSL or DSL, then what's the point of getting a pedal of that? Because it's never going to be the same as good, in my opinion. So I think let's forget this. Yes, cool, now you know it does the job pretty similarly than a actual amplifier what this kind of emulates. Now let's turn to a 5150 clean channel. It's there, you probably see it a little bit. So it's completely clean, and again, if I want to have in a live situation, a clean sound and a lead sound, I will dial a good clean sound. Yes, you can get pretty good clean sound from a 5150. Let's add a little bit of presence and treble. And the bright switch on. I mean, it's pretty cool. Cool? Okay. Then let's add the DSL and check out what happens. The settings are the same, where it sounded pretty good with into the Marshall's clean sound. Check out. What? So, the amplifier that you put this pedal into plays a huge part. So, if you have only one amplifier, if possible, my advice is to try this pedal out with your amplifier, whether it works or not. Because, you know. So, alright, let's tweak this, because it, like you hear, it sounds like there's a blanket. No, that doesn't work with that amp. It's just muddy, because like you see, the controls here are pretty limited, so I would like this to have a, but it, you know, I would probably get a good sound with the 5150 if this would have like a, you know, your basic tone stack. So yes, we could, now I could tweak the amp that I could get a good sound out from this, but then my clean sound would probably suck. So, you know, there's not really a point. I mean, it's... Let's try a bit more highs here. Add a bit more mids. You can see it now, but it's like low 6, mids 4, highs 7, 8, presence 8, resonance 6, and the post gate master volume is 3. It's still a good clean sound. Okay, let's see. Better. Now that the mids are way... Now the mids are 2, 9 o'clock. Not very good. Conclusion. If you have a 5150 and you wanna expand your sound palette to a Marshall DSL with the 5150, in my experience now, not gonna work. I didn't like it at all. And you know, even though I tried to tweak the amp from the optimal clean sound, this one, no. if you have a Marshall, a JCM2000 TSL or DSL, it will work great. But then, why do you need the pedal? I mean, at least I don't need it. So, yeah, with my setup, nah, I don't need it. I have these amps, and since I have the Marshall DSL, and I tried it with the 800 and Plexi, I'm not gonna do it now, this video will be too long. It works just fine. Because Marshall, not so surprisingly, works with Marshall. But to me, that is like, but isn't the whole point that you will get a Marshall sound with any amp or with other amps? You know, if you get a Marshall sound from the pedal into a Marshall amp, then in my opinion, for me, this is absolutely useless. Just my 5 cents. Thank you, Musics, for letting me borrow this and, you know, check this out. And not so surprisingly, this won't stay. I will return it to Music. But don't take my word as, you know. Try it out yourself. Maybe it works for you with your amp, with your setup. Doesn't work with mine. Alright, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was interesting, informative, and maybe even a bit entertaining. Until next time, take care. Bye.